Hey, what's up? David with Brazos Valley Barbell. One of the most common questions that I receive is how to fix sticking points on really any of the big three lifts. And I don't know that it's a good strategy to try to fix your sticking points, but I do think the sticking points give pretty good feedback as far as what exercises are going to be effective for getting you stronger. So from lift to lift and individual to individual, I don't think that there's ever going to be a big change in where the lift is going to be hard. If in this case, we're going to be talking about bench press and the lift being hard immediately off your chest, I don't think that we can do anything that will make it to where the bench is now hard in a different spot or that you just power through that bottom portion, but we can choose exercises that challenge that hard portion for you and that end up making you a whole lot stronger. So while you'll always be weakest off your chest, you'll be using more weight for that weak point. So your max will go up, that'll still be the hard part for you, but obviously will be successful in lifting more weight. So some of the most common things that will cause a lifter to have a low sticking point in the bench press are going to be bar path, the mechanics of the bench press at the bottom, and then we'll talk about the muscles and the exercises we can do to help train that portion of the lift and make the lifter stronger overall. So the most common errors are with bar path and with just the mechanics, and they'll really end up being the same thing, is that the lifter touches the bar too high on their chest or flares too early. So what the problem that happens with that is that if I touch really high on the descent, then for one, I had to go a whole lot further. If I have a little bit of an arch, then the highest portion of my body will be a little bit lower. So if I can touch a little bit lower, then I don't have to go quite as far. The other big part of it is that it makes the demands on my pecs a whole lot more, it'll end up to where the pecs are by far going to be the weakest length at that portion of the lift. So if I come straight down with it, the pec is going to be the only muscle that really has any chance at all of get that bar moving. So I can involve my front delts a little bit more if I touch lower. So from there, my front delts and my pecs can get the bar moving. And then once I'm more, a third of the way up or so, my pecs can take over as I flare and finish the press. The other side of it with the mechanics wouldn't be that you touch too high, but you touched correctly, but then flared too quickly, and now we have the exact same problem. So making sure that we have good timing with the flare and with pressing back is important. I'm not going to go into that too much. I have a video on bench press bar path and elbow flare. So that would be where I would direct you to really look at the minutia there. This one's going to be more about choosing the right exercises to challenge your pecs and to challenge your front delts, and really just to challenge the rhythm, the mechanics of somebody who has a hard time getting the bar off their chest. So the first criteria, the first thing that we're going to want to use is going to be exercises that are hard for you in that area. So if you're having trouble getting the bar off your chest, using things that make the bar move quickly, like a slingshot or with chains, are not going to be good tools for that. We're making the bottom portion of the lift just much too easy, and then we're not making those muscles that are having problems at the bottom any stronger. So that's probably the most common area that people say that they want to move the bar quicker through that range of motion, and that's a big mistake. We want to be stronger. Max effort lifts are inherently slow. We're never going to be fast enough to get through that bottom portion in a way that's successful with the 95+% lifts. So we want to focus on the exercises that really improve either the hypertrophy or the max force production of those muscles. So the muscles that we're going to be looking at are the pecs and the front delts. My favorite exercises for these are going to be things like tempo bench presses, soft touch benches. We can just call them t-shirt press, touch your t-shirt but not your chest. That's been we're calling it that one instead of, I think Spoto press has been around for a long time. That's really the same thing, but people end up stopping too high. We want to get full range of motion, but still control that bar through the whole thing. So the tempo work, the soft touches, I've been doing a lot of pin press or dead press or whatever we want to call it there. And then some variations that are outside of the bench press. So like incline presses and then overhead presses, and I've even been including a lot of push-up variations, and dips are in that category as well. So exercises that we really go after the front delts and challenge the bar right off your chest. So the incline pin press is one of my favorite ones, especially with the pins. It makes it to where it's really challenging to get that bar moving. We lose the stretch reflex, and then it makes those muscles at the bottom have to produce the most force, and it also challenges your mechanics. It's really easy to flare too quickly on an exercise that has that dead stop. I've been doing a variation of it's a really high incline or like a low overhead press or something like that. Just it's almost like a 70-degree incline press, and those I've felt to be very challenging in my front delts. It's almost exclusively that's where I fatigue and that's where I fail in that exercise. I've been doing those with dumbbells and barbells, and I've really been enjoying those. And then an extra range of motion push-up with either parallettes or if you have an adjustable dip bar have worked really well for me. These make it to where in general, I like general push-ups a lot, just the regular range of motion, but the problem with those is that we don't get as far down, and so my front delts usually don't get enough stress. So they're a good hypertrophy exercise, they're healthy for the shoulders, but if we can induce a little bit more stress by getting a little extra range of motion, then that'll be a good tool for overloading the front delts. So when you're picking your exercises, when you're designing your programming, don't look for exercises that are easy or that you think will look good, with the flashy ones like the bands and chains and things that make the bar move quickly. We want to choose exercises that are hard for you. If we choose a variation and you have to take 5-10% off your normal working weights, that probably means it'll be an exercise that'll be worthwhile for you. So hopefully that video was helpful. If you like it, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.